Hey, how's it going, everybody? So today's a very special day. It's been a year since I started uh, living a healthier lifestyle and just choosing to just be more healthy and active in general. A little bit of backstory: I've been pretty much overweight my entire life, and I've been on and off with diets here and there, but never really stuck with anything that worked for me. So this time around, it was obviously different. I lost around 160 pounds in a year. And so today I just want to explain to you how I did that. And so just a little bit of background information. I was very insecure, very depressed for most of my life. And it was just very hard to finally commit to wanting to change because most of the time growing up, I convinced myself that I didn't really care how I looked or how I felt. I just wanted to eat whatever I wanted and basically do whatever I felt like I wanted to do. And I got very depressed, I felt very isolated, and I just knew I needed to shake something up. And so I think that's another thing that will really help you if you want to lose weight is you got to get to that breaking point where it's like, okay, no matter what, I'm pushing through. I'm going to do this. And so that's what happened with me. So the first thing that I think anyone needs to do before they really determine they want to lose weight is they need to find a routine that will work for them, which will be consistent, something they can do every day for the rest of their life. So, for example, doing a no carb diet, that won't fit in that category because you're not gonna never eat carbs the rest of your life, or no sugar diet. Like, sounds great, right? Like, no sugar. Obviously, you'd lose some weight, but once you start eating sugar again, you're just going to gain that weight back. So you want to find something that you can do consistently the rest of your life. And another thing, obviously, everyone knows losing weight is a long process. It's not going to happen overnight. And a lot of times, even like you think, oh, it's a long process, I should see results in a couple months. But me personally, I didn't really see results in a couple months. I felt them. I could tell I was losing pant sizes here and there, but you look in the mirror, you don't really see any change, and that's because a lot of changes happen internally before they happen externally. So that's just always something to keep in mind, just to keep you sane, I guess, while you're trying to push through at least the beginning where it's hard when you're not seeing results, even though you're working very hard. So obviously the most important thing is your diet, and so I just want to go over some things that you might not know and just good foods that you should probably incorporate in your diet. And to start off, I would really recommend it is to not worry about how much you're eating, but more what you are eating, especially starting off, because you don't want to put your body into shock just by cutting calories and only eating these certain foods and really worrying about how much calories you're consuming. You don't want to do that right out of the gate. You really just want to get your body adjusted to eating healthy. That's the most important thing, because like you said, you want to be consistent. You don't want to do anything drastic that your body's going to reject, or that you will reject, your mind will reject, but you don't want to do anymore because it's too much. So that's the main thing. And sorry if I'm looking over to my left a lot. I have it written down because I don't want to forget anything. Um, so eating healthy, what does that mean? So there are three macros, as they call it, which are proteins, fats, and carbs. So pretty much everything you consume on a daily basis fits into one of these three categories. The main thing you want to focus on is obviously your proteins, and then your fats are probably second, and then carbs are last, but you're still eating carbs. You're not cutting out carbs completely. I know a lot of people have the ingrained into them that carbs are the enemy, sugar's your enemy, don't eat them ever, but you need to eat them. You can't function without them. So for proteins, solid proteins, like you got eggs, almonds, chicken breasts, lean beef, turkey, pork tenderloin, tuna, fish, whey protein. That's really the only supplement I've taken is protein powder for workouts, and I highly recommend it just for even like meal replacement. If like even if you don't want to take it, it's not really people associate whey protein with building muscle, which it will help with that, but it's also just to keep a steady dose of protein in your diet, and it's very easy, very convenient. And then I eat protein bars too, Greek yogurt, broccoli, peanut butter. Those are all very good. I'll go more into detail maybe in a separate video about like specifics for each category, but I just want to give you some general knowledge. And that's mainly what you want to eat in your diet is proteins and also vegetables. You can't really go wrong with vegetables. So I didn't really list any out, but whenever you're hungry, protein, vegetables. So that's what you got to do. Also, there are fats that are good for you. You got avocado, Swiss cheese, dark chocolate, actually, in moderation, and eggs again. So eggs is in both lists. So eggs are a pretty good choice. And then you have nuts, almonds, of course, and like extra virgin olive oil on your salad or something instead of salad dressing. That's another good healthy fat. Also, for carbs, you want to look at complex carbs. By complex carbs, it basically means your body, as it processes them, it changes it into glucose, which your body then uses for energy, as opposed to eating like ice cream, which is carbs, but your body isn't really going to use that for energy. It's going to store that as fat. So complex carbs, that's what it means. Those are like rice, sweet potatoes, oats, beans, whole grain pastas, things like that. So you really want to eat things along those lines. And as far as fast food and like drinking pop and other drinks that just contain calories in general, you really want to avoid them. I won't say cut them out completely, but try and do it maybe once, twice a week if possible. You really, for me, pop was like a daily problem. You could say I had 4 or 5 cans a day, which I mean to some people is like, I've heard of people having a case or 2 a day, which is crazy, but for me, I had to cut pop out completely because it was just a struggle, and it was actually pretty easy once you do it. Not gonna lie, I was surprised how easy it was for me to cut out pop. So obviously diet is the most important, and then secondly, you have your workout, which I would really recommend you do not work out right out of the gate. I'm telling you, diet is so important. I would say go at least 2 weeks just focusing on your diet before you even start working out or you're going to consider doing exercise, because like I said, it's the most important. You are what you eat. So that's what I'd recommend to start, especially if you're at an obese state like I was. Maybe if you're at a different state and you've been working out, like, and your body's used to exercising and that mobility, maybe that won't be as much of a problem starting out. So, yeah. So basically, right now, I try to exercise daily. I really believe that exercising daily is important. But to start out, maybe do 3-4 days a week, and make sure you're giving your body enough time to rest and whatnot. And one thing for me starting working out was I would look at videos online and I'd be following them along, or I'd want to do workouts that I see online, and basically I wasn't able to perform them. Like for example, I couldn't even do a push-up starting out. I couldn't do one push-up, and so my workouts were very limited in the beginning, and you can't let things like that frustrate you. You just have to do what you can do and make sure whatever you're doing, that you're doing it at a high intensity, meaning you're pushing your body to its limit, because that's the only time you really are going to see results and progress is when you push yourself. And doing the same thing or just kind of doing it lackadaisical, it's not going to be the same. You might see if you're overweight, you'll probably see results, but you're going to plateau pretty hard. So you definitely want to focus on that intensity, keep it up, break a sweat. You just gotta go 110%. So yeah, that's basically what I just hit. And then another thing about the whole intensity thing, there's a difference from being sore and then from when your body is like you're actually out of breath because your heart rate's so high. Because a lot of times you'll be doing a workout, right, and you'll start to feel sore, or your muscles will start, talking to you in a way like, hey, like, it's starting to hurt almost. Not necessarily hurt, but strain your muscles. There's a difference between, hurting yourself. Like, you can feel like you're hurting yourself by doing a workout, or if you're straining it, like, in a good way. So, and you don't want to stop once you start feeling that. If you can keep going, and, like, your heart rate's not, like, necessarily maxed out, and you're still breathing fine, but your body is starting to, like, talk to you, you want to push through that. That's part of, like, having a high intensity, because myself included, a lot of people, when they feel that, they stop, which, I mean, you're going to plateau. You're never going to keep building. So that's one of the main things, is your intensity, how intense you work out. It's not necessarily how long you work out. You could be doing a 2-hour jog, or a half-hour just constant workout where you're just sweating and going crazy. I'd rather do that personally, because I don't like working out for long extended periods of time. I'd rather just bust it out anyways. And I really feel like, well, not just my opinion, but it's also proven that those high intensity workouts, that your body will actually burn more calories after your workout. So there's a lot of pros to it. And the main thing, besides all the pros, the main thing that it does is, you're going to see progress. You're going to push yourself so that the next time you come around, you can do it better, if that makes sense. So, as far as workout routine, I've done a lot of research on this subject, and I employ you guys to do research as well starting out. When you're starting out, you definitely want to be the most informed that you can, and there's never such thing as being like knowing too much in a subject. So definitely do your research. And but for me, my workout routine, I usually like to mix it up. So I'll do one day of resistance training, which is like weightlifting, something like along the lines of weightlifting, and then the next day you do cardio. And I think it's important to have a good balance of both, because yes, cardio is considered more effective for burning fat and losing weight, but also you don't want to just burn fat and lose weight. You want to build muscle too. That's for both sexes too, male or female. You don't want to, I mean, a lot of people are worried about loose skin too, which is something I was worried about when I started losing weight pretty rapidly. And the main thing is, also lifting weights. You don't want to just do cardio. So you do cardio one day, lift weights the next day. And this also gives your body time to rebuild its muscle after you do like a weightlifting session, because you don't want to just lift weights back to back to back days, because when you actually build muscle is when your body rests. So it's not when you're actually working out, that's when you're breaking down your muscles. So I would do one day cardio, one day of weightlifting. That's what really works for me, and that's what I would recommend. So I feel like I'm missing stuff in working out, but that's all I have written down. So I'll move on to my next topic, and this is something I did with that's what I want to say about workout. Sorry, I'm so discombobulated. For like cardio and things of that nature, and even like weightlifting, you want to find exercises that you somewhat enjoy. Like for me, just jogging on the treadmill every day, I'd go nuts, or I'd stop because I would be so bored. So a lot of times, like, I mix it up. So one day I'll do like a high intensity interval training workout on YouTube, which is called a HIIT workout, which is basically 20-25 minutes of just high intensity. They're all over YouTube. You can find them. I'll do something like that one day for my cardio, and then another day I'll do like an ab session. I'll do like 15-20 minutes of just different ab workouts, and then another cardio day I'll go to the park and play basketball. I'll do like pickup games, things like that. So like you definitely want to mix it up, and you don't want to let it get bland, because that will also, you'll be more prone to giving up per se if you start getting bored too. So definitely have some variety. But moving on is intermittent fasting. I did this. I still do it. There are a lot of pros and cons to it. Starting out, I I saw amazing results. I'd already lost around 80 pounds. In my first month of intermittent fasting, I'd lost around 17, 18 pounds in 1 month. And it was really working well for me. And for those of you who don't know what intermittent fasting is basically you go a majority of the day not eating anything, which keeps your body in a fasted state. And the theory is that your body uses your stored fat for energy because you're not feeding it. How true that is, I'm not exactly sure. But one thing, at least I'm a testament, is that it works pretty well. So I'd highly recommend it. And so that's basically what intermittent fasting is. You definitely want to drink water. When I first started doing it, I wasn't drinking. I was drinking a lot of water because in general I wanted to drink water just so my skin would stretch when I lose weight to avoid loose skin and whatnot. I was already drinking a decent amount, but when I wasn't eating anything throughout the day and I would get hungry, I just drink water. You want to drink tons of water. It's good for you. Yes, you're gonna use the bathroom a lot. You just gotta deal with it. Okay, it's worth it. Trust me. So drink tons of water. Things that don't break your fast is black coffee, and I've heard green tea doesn't break the fast either, but I'm not a big green tea drinker or just tea in general. But I do drink a lot of black coffee and water when I'm fasting. And so what this allows you to do is eat more in one sitting, and also you don't really have to, because I know a lot of people with dieting, they worry about what they're eating all day. And for me too, like I hate this, like, oh, tracking your calories and making sure what you're eating, you're writing it down, and you're like, I don't like doing that all day, or doing that every hour or two when you're eating. So what intermittent fasting is, it allows you to not really worry about that all day because you're not eating anything, right? And then also when you do eat, you can eat more, like you're kind of probably more accustomed to right now. Because for me, at least, starting out eating well, first of all, when I first started, I tried to only consume around 1,500 calories, which was ridiculous because I was probably consuming around 4,000 to 5,000 a day. I was very undisciplined and extremely obese. So I started doing that, and I just can't eat those like little meals in one sitting. So intermittent fasting really worked for me because it allowed me to eat more in one sitting and have more of a full feeling after you eat. So, it's definitely something I'd recommend, and give it a shot, And also, the main thing with intermittent fasting that I found is you don't want to do it every day because your body will adjust and then it won't have the same effect, right? So if you're constantly not feeding your body's going to get used to that feeling, if that makes sense. So you want to spike your metabolism by eating more food on certain days. Not bad food though, just eat more on. So like, for example, what I do is during the week I'll intermittent fast, and then on Saturdays and Sundays I'll eat 3 square meals a day and have snacks and stuff like that, but it's generally healthy food. So, and what that allows is for it to be more effective, because I actually plateaued pretty hard. I saw I lost 18 pounds in a month, and I was even more motivated, and I started doing like just one meal a day and not just like intermittent fasting where I'd eat usually around 3 meals a day. I'd only do 1 meal a day, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna start losing weight like crazy. I didn't lose any weight for like 2-3 weeks because my body adjusted. So you definitely want to spike your metabolism, eat more on certain days. And along with that is I'll talk about cheat days. Not necessarily cheat days, but I say if you're still craving sugar, or like you just have something that like you really don't want to cut out because you enjoy a lot, just try it, like still eat that or drink that thing, but only do it one day out of the week. It's not going to kill you. You got to reward yourself too, and because it's like you said, like me, I can't go the rest of my life never eating a dessert or drinking a pop, whatever it is for you, like it's just not possible. So if you say, hey, like I'm only going to do this once a day, maybe starting off or once a week, sorry, or maybe starting off twice a week, but I would try and cut it to maybe once a week. That's more realistic, right? So that's just what I would recommend. I think I pretty much covered everything on intermittent fasting. Um, yeah. So next thing is sleep, which is also very important. It can affect your progress. I did not sleep a lot. I was more of a night owl. I'd stay up to like 3, 4 a.m. playing video games, and then I'd get up for work at like 7 or 8, or and I really had to change that. And also my job changed. I worked early in the morning, so it kind of actually helped me because I got to bed earlier. But I mean, try and get like a good night's sleep. A lot of people say 8 hours is normal, but for me, I usually get around 6 hours. 7 if I'm lucky. So, and the reason it's so important is because your body releases its growth hormones when you're sleeping, and so it's definitely going to help you rebuild your strength and just see a lot more progress in general. So don't neglect your sleep. And that's pretty much it, at least all that I have written down. I'm sure I've missed stuff, like, because it's a lot of information, and I do a lot of things. And the main thing though is just be determined, be consistent. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna have days where you don't feel like doing it, or you eat, like, or for example, for me, I went on a 2-week vacation and I ate whatever I wanted, but when I got back, I got right back into it, and I didn't really miss a step. I maybe pushed myself back by a week, but you just got to be consistent. And and also, I just can't stress enough in the beginning, just don't get stressed out, because that was always my problem. Is I would start and I would want to see results, and I wasn't seeing them, and I'm killing my body for no reason. So why do that? I'm gonna enjoy what I eat. I'm not gonna exercise. I'm gonna do whatever. So you just gotta push through that, and once you see results, that's gonna motivate you. Like, trust me. Like, I remember the first day I saw, I really saw like change in my body. I just got so excited, and it just motivated me even more. And so I think I'll just leave off with that. So depending on how the video goes, if you guys want to see more of like, maybe what I eat throughout the day, or things of that nature, like, maybe specific workout routine or something like that, I might do something like that. But I just wanted to get this out there and just hopefully motivate, people, because I really am a true believer that it's more of a battle in your mind. It's more of like, you just have to really get determined and get to a breaking point where you just, like you say, enough is enough, and you just finally do it. It's not necessarily, oh, what workout are you doing, or, oh, should I eat this over this? Those things are important, but not as important as your determination and your drive. So, that being said, I really hope this helps someone, and thank you guys for listening, and have a great day.